you how I take/edit my photos for Poshmark. This is also how I started out editing Instagram photos. So right now I do use Photoshop and Lightroom, but before I invested in some of those more expensive kind of programs, I used what you're gonna see today. And I still use this website for editing for my YouTube cover photos and for Poshmark, just because it's super user-friendly and they have really cool fonts and they already have like little kind of graphics and designs that are built into the program. So you don't have to Google them and look for them and find stock images. I will show you some of that as I go through this video. So anyways, I've been collabing with Poshmark to bring you guys a series of videos on spring cleaning and organizing and decluttering, all that stuff, and then selling some of those items on the Poshmark app. But I realized as I was doing my closet clean out video that only part of the process is decluttering and getting all the items together that you either want to donate or sell. The other part of the process is getting motivated then to sell the items, like actually sell them. Are you gonna sell them on Poshmark? Are you gonna sell them in a garage sale? Are you just gonna store them in the basement for a while, which is what ends up happening to me? So that motivation to actually do something with the clothing is almost the most difficult part. So I thought I would do a totally separate video, which here we are today, where I kind of maybe give you guys some motivation to get your items on Poshmark, whatever you guys are doing, and showing you how I take the photos, how I edit the photos, give you guys some tips and tricks on kind of how I go about that. For the sake of this video, I just wanted to keep it really simple. So today I'm gonna be showing you how to do all of this just on an iPhone and using a computer program. If you guys haven't watched my other kind of closet clean out videos, or you've never heard of Poshmark before, you're probably like, oh, this place sounds cool. I wanna sell my clothes. I wanna make some extra money. What's going on here? So Poshmark is a free app that you can download on your phone, and I will have a link to the app once again for free down in my description box. You can click on it, download it, all that good stuff. You can then start selling your items from your own closet. You can also buy items on Poshmark and shop other people's closets. Also, you can search for brands. So let's say you sold a bunch of your handbags and shoes and you want a pair of new Chanel flats or a Louis Vuitton wallet or something like that. So then you can just search for Chanel or Louis Vuitton or whatever you're looking for just in the search bar. Or let's say it's spring and you guys want to get outdoors, you want some new tennis shoes, you want some Nikes or Adidas, you can look for that as well. Also, all the items you'll be seeing me kind of take photos of and editing in this video will be on my Poshmark closet, which is jadethelibra is my Poshmark handle. So if there's anything that you liked as I was kind of going through this video, you can get your hands on it. Right now, should be live. So yeah, definitely check that out if you're interested in it. So if you guys want to see how I take/edit my photos for Poshmark, but also could be used for Instagram and for YouTube covers, then just keep watching. All right, so since I'm going to keep this pretty simple, I'm not going to be using any lighting equipment here. I'm just going to go for straight natural light. So my best advice is just to walk around your apartment or your house and find the room that has the best natural lighting. And where you can usually find that is if you have any floor to ceiling windows or bay window. See, my living room has a whole wall of windows. It's why I shoot right there. But the main point here is that you want to avoid shooting in direct sunlight. So for example, if you're inside of your house, you want to avoid the time when the sun is directly coming through your window. Instead, you'd want to shoot when the sun is on the other side of your house. So it's more of a cool light and an even light, and it's not just blowing everything out and really harsh. If you're outside, you want to find a shaded area or shoot outside when it is an overcast day, which is the best lighting ever. So once I'm ready to shoot, I roll out this huge roll of white paper. You do not have to have a large roll of white paper or any paper at all. I've seen people use faux fur rugs or faux fur blankets. If you have any cool looking rugs or a white bed sheet, and you can even use your hardwood floors, that could look really cool. So it just depends on whatever you want to use here. All right, so now I'm going to start photographing each of the individual items I'll be posting on Poshmark. And I'm going to start with this flannel here. I lay it down flat onto the white paper, and then since it is long sleeves, I always fold long sleeve tops in, like the sleeves in, because it gives it a little bit more shape, makes it look a little less bulky or stiff, and it's easier to get into a square. And that's another thing worth mentioning is I always shoot in the square format. So, you know, on your iPhone, you can shoot in photo or square, then you go to video, like whatever you want to do. I always shoot in square format because that's the way Poshmark posts it. So it's kind of like Instagram. Your feed will be in kind of squares. So if you don't shoot it in a square format, you're going to have to edit it later, which I'm actually going to show you how to do here. but it's just much easier if you do keep it in the square. I also make sure I have a lint roller or a sticky roller at hand. If you guys have pets or you just have hair everywhere like I do, you want to make sure you get any hairs or little strings off of the item because those will totally show up when you are shooting it. So from there, I'm taking multiple photos of the front, multiple photos of the back. I take photos of the tag and any graphics, pockets, patches, anything like that that's on the garment. And the reason I do that is because 10 times out of 10, if I only take one photo, it is going to be a blurry photo or a dark photo, something like that. So if I take multiple photos, there's going to be a usable one in there and you don't have to reshoot it later. So yeah, I just continue to go through each item, take photos, once again, front, back, tag, and any details, zippers, buttons, anything that you think is important. So here I'm going to start building my own tripod because I don't have a tripod for my phone, but I want to show you guys how I take photos of myself wearing the items. This is also really similar to how I take photos for Instagram, except I normally am using a camera instead of a phone, but almost exactly the same. So you just saw me set up a makeshift tripod. I just stacked boxes on this cart. You can use a desk. You can use anything that you have laying around. Propped up the phone against something else, then put a makeup palette in front of it so it didn't topple over, and then I had my setup. So I'm also going to be using a box light and a ring light. Also using that same roll of white paper that I used earlier. So the roll of white paper is a multi-purpose situation in my house. Then once everything's all set up, I will usually stand in front of the background and make sure I'm in the shot before I actually start taking photos. And then I will set up the timer on my phone or my camera, whichever one you're using. I set it up here for 3 seconds, and I press the button, get in my spot, and then wait for the countdown, and then hope that I got a shot. I take several shots. Some are good, some are not so good, and then that's kind of what I do. Anyways, let's move on to editing. Okay, you guys, so before I show you how I edit the photos, I wanted to show you what I did really quick over here with these folders. So what I did is I went through all of those photos that we took earlier on my phone. And you know how earlier I was kind of taking multiple photos of each item? So it would take like 4 or 5, maybe like 10, I don't know how many it was, but I took a lot of photos of the front of an item, the back of an item. I went through my phone, went through each photo and picked out which ones I liked the best. So for example, this Forever 21 striped crop, I went through and looked at the best front of the photos, for example, and I found this one. I was like, oh, it's bright, it's clear, it looks great. Chose that one, airdropped it onto my desktop, and then created this folder. You'll see later when we go to upload these photos, it'll be much easier to find when they're all organized and ready to go. You won't have to sort through everything. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go to PicMonkey.com, PICmonkey.com. And I have been using this website for since the beginning of time. No, since the beginning of my YouTube channel. And I remember seeing this on someone else's YouTube channel. I was watching tutorials on how to make covers. You know, at the time, PicMonkey was free for the most part. I guess since then, because I just was thinking this whole time that you guys were going to be able to do this for free and was like bragging about it or was going to brag about it. But as come to find out, in order to save photos now and continue to edit them, you do have to pay for it. So it is a monthly kind of service. You can do a free trial. I think it's $5.99 a month for if you pay for the whole year up front, and then it's $7.99 a month otherwise, like if you go month to month. But I started using it because I didn't quite want to invest in the more expensive stuff quite yet. So anyways, I'm going to go up to where it says design right here. I'm going to go down where it says custom size. I'm going to click on that. And here it's already in a square situation. It's 2000 by 2000. You can make it 720 by 720, 1080 by 1080. So now that we have our square, I'm going to go in, I'm going to insert our image here. So I'm going to go into this little butterfly. Then you're going to go up here to add your own. Click on that. And then my computer. So this is where all of these little folders are going to come in handy, what we did earlier. So I'm going to go with the cord skirt. That's what we'll start with. So if you remember back when we were taking the photos, I told you guys the best thing to do would be to take it in the square format on your iPhone or your cell phone camera. So all of these are already in a square setting. They don't have to be resized or cropped or anything like that. So I'm just gonna keep those there for now. They just need to be edited. Brighten it a little bit, sharpen it a little bit, all that good stuff. But these here are the ones that I took of myself kind of modeling the piece. Or let's say you looked up a stock photo, or let's say you forgot to put it in square mode, or you took it from a digital camera and it's not in a square, it's not cropped or anything like that. So for reference, I'm gonna go ahead and take a non-square photo and make it a square photo. So I'm gonna click on this one here, which shouldn't be me in the outfit. Yep, there I am. Not my favorite photo, but I'll get over it. And this is a really great example on how to use this for Instagram as well. So you'll just insert it like I just did, pick the photo, and then you'll make it bigger. So I'm just gonna enlarge this. So from here you can see that the paper is definitely not wide enough that I was posing in front of. So you have this situation over here. And you can also see that right here, it is way cooler tone than over here where it's kind of beigey. So instead of going through and cutting myself completely out of the background, which you can totally do, that is the way you would do that is you go over to eraser over here where it says overlay. You have the basic tab and the eraser tab. So you'll click on that eraser tab, bring the eraser size wherever you want it, wherever you find it most appropriate. And then the hardness tab will be all the way up. Then what you'll do is you'll zoom in or zoom out as far as you want. And let's say you want to get in here, like, all right, I'm going to go in and slowly but surely carve all of this out, which, as you can see, would take 5,000 years. I'm not doing that. Nope. So what I do, I'm going to go back to basic, is I see, all right, so this is a different color than this, but it's natural because obviously the photo is that way. It's kind of ombreing into it. So I'm just going to push this photo to one side. So either this side or this side. But since we have this situation, I'm just going to push it over here. So now we want to make this white square the same shade as this side here. There's no point in making it the same color as this because then it's just going to look like a mess. So what I do from here is I go up to these bars up here on the upper left-hand kind of corner area. It says basic edits. I click on that. Then I'm going to go down here to canvas color. Click on that. Now I just have to eyeball it. There might be an easier way. There's maybe some tool that picks the color, but I don't know. I haven't found anything like that. And I'm set in my ways, so I'm just going to eyeball it. So go over to the yellow. There's a little bit of orange. All right, and then I'm going to bring this down a little bit. All right. And it may not be an exact match yet, but we don't know yet. So I'm going to apply that. Then I'm going to click back on my photo. Go back over to this eraser tab. Click on this. Hopefully I'm not going too fast. Bringing the size up. Bring the hardness all the way down. I'm actually going to bring that size all the way up. So see this harsh line? That looks terrible. I already know this. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to kind of start softening it. And since we brought that hardness all the way down, it's going to kind of airbrush that. And we're not too far off, really, from that color. I'm just going to go all the way down. And there's kind of this white shade that I'm not liking. You can bring this in. Just be careful when you bring this in. Because look, because we brought that hardness down, as you click, it can start lightening that hat. We don't want that. So I'm going to back up. All right. So I'm going to keep it kind of away from my body as much as possible. But we also don't want a super harsh line. So sometimes I just kind of stand back and click a whole bunch of times. Okay, where are we at? Not too bad, I don't think. So from here, you could totally be done. You can export this, you can post it straight to Poshmark and call it a day. But I'm seeing here, because I'm particular like this, I kind of, when I was taking this photo, the light was getting a little harsh in the room. And I talked about earlier how you really don't want that to happen, but it was, and I really couldn't prevent it. So I have some harshness and some warmness happening here that I'm not crazy about. Also, the skirt got a little bit lost. It's actually in real life has corduroy, is more detailed, and it's really cool looking. And in here, it kind of just looks dark and you can't really see what's going on with it. So I want to bring it back to life. and make it look like it really does in person, because somebody might buy this and be like, I didn't know that there was a seam here. You know what I mean? So I'm going to edit it further is basically what I went on a diatribe about. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to export it. Go up here to the top to export. I save it to the highest one because why not? If you can make it good quality, go for it. So Sean, I clicked on that. And then I'm going to go here. It says untitled. I'm going to name it. So I'm going to name it cord skirt PM for PicMonkey. And it should be, there it is. So I'm also going to go up here and save it to my desktop. There we go. All right, so now to edit it, you can't just go in from here and edit it. It won't let you use any of the filters or do anything with it until you export it and then bring it back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to open new. I'm going to click on computer. I'm not going to, I did save that, so you're lying. All right, I'm going to go up here to cord skirt PM. Click on that. I'm going to go over here to those little bars where it's basic edits. I'm going to go where it says sharpen. And you know how this area on the skirt isn't really showing up? I'm going to up the clarity a little bit. It might mess with some things for a hot minute, but I'm going to hopefully fix it. Also going to bring up the sharpness, and then I'm going to hit apply. Then I'm going to go up to exposure. I'm going to brighten it a little bit. And this will also help with that background situation that we were kind of struggling with. It will help kind of when you go to brighten it and add some highlights, it won't be as drastic. All right, I don't want to do that. But yeah, now you can see that the skirt is starting to look like an actual corduroy skirt. I'm also going to go into this colors situation here, bring down some of that saturation, bring down the temperature a little bit. And you can continue to play around with this until you get the desired look you're going for. But as you can see, just brightening it up a little bit kind of brightened up that background so it doesn't look as muddy. Since you guys may be using this for Instagram and you want to use some sort of Facetune or face smoother, to each their own, I use them. That's just my preference for my photos. But if you're not into it and you don't like it, then you guys can totally move forward. But I thought maybe you would want to know how to do it because I think a lot of people use some sort of like Facetune or whatever. Anyways, oh wait, I keep getting ahead of myself. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. Oh, and by the way, I am by no means saying that you have to use Facetune. No. I think you're beautiful. I think your skin looks amazing. I don't think that it matters. It's just personal preference in my opinion. Okay, so up here, I'm going to go up to this little magic wand that says effects. Click on that. I'm going to go down where it says soften, and it's going to soften the whole image, but I'm going to go to this little paintbrush there, and I'm going to go to click this little box right here that says reverse effect, and it's going to pull that out. All right, so then down here, you can kind of control the softness that you want, and fade is going to be the power. So 100% is going to be nothing, 0% is going to be a whole lot. Like watch, that's 0%. 100%. So you can keep it, you can kind of put the face softener, or just softener in general, wherever you want it. I'm going to click back on that reverse effect. And you can choose your brush size, your hardness, the brush strength. And you guys can just kind of add as much as you want or as little as you want. And sometimes I just do it in the areas that I notice there's some uneven skin tone going on. Maybe the light was hitting it weird or created some weird shadows. So I'll kind of just try to soften those harsh edges a little bit. In some areas, kind of click just randomly. And then in other areas, you can kind of drag. You can just play around with it. And then from there, if you wanted to go back, now that your face is kind of smoothed out, you can go back up into this little bar area. It's like the basics area, and then sharpen it up again, enhance the clarity, because now that your face is a little bit smoother, it's not going to pull out all those shadows and pull out all of those uneven areas where before it was. There's so many other effects you can use, and then I just mess with the exposure, color, sharpen. You can do any of these on a lot of different programs, but I do like the soften, and I do what I mainly use PicMonkey for are the themes. I love the themes. And if you want to add some things like, let's say you want to make this some witchy spooky vibe and you want to make it pop, so you add some bats. You could totally do that. Why not, right? And it would just make it pop and make it interesting on Poshmark if you wanted to do it that way. So I usually just keep mine light and simple, but even do a little bit of, where is it? Like a moon. Like let's say you wanted to do a moon right here. And then I'm just gonna go over to my eraser. Kind of just carve this out. I mean, it is just such a user-friendly website in reality. So I just go through with the eraser and erase any areas that don't have the moon. And then you kind of have a moon behind you. I'm now just like playing. Okay, this is what happens, you guys. This is why I can't do these types of videos. So from here, we're done. I don't know what I'm even doing anymore. So I'm gonna go back in up here where it says export. I'm gonna export it. Same thing, go into this Sean guy here. He's the highest resolution and a large file size. That's fine with me. Poshmark ready. And I'm going to export to computer. I'm gonna put it in my desktop. All right, so then I'm gonna take this. This is the photo that I just put on my desktop. I'm gonna put it into the folder with the cord skirt. All right, so here's the before right here on the left, and then here is the after. So as you can see on the left, it is not in square form. So if you put it in Poshmark, it would be cropped. If you try to put it on Instagram, it would also be cropped. So if you want to put it in that square, that's what we did. We also brightened it up, cooled it down, and we are good to go. All right, so now that I showed you guys how to take a photo that's not already in a square form and make it into a square form, match it up, get it edited, how do you go in and edit an already square photo like we took earlier of all of these different outfits, like this crop top? So what I would do then is, so what we would do is we go back into PicMonkey. You could either go back into the website entirely or just back to where you were. You're gonna go to open new, go to computer, and we're gonna go find that top. It's already in a square. We don't have to do anything. So from here, you just go straight in and just start editing like we did before. So you can go up to these basic edits. You can up the highlights, like so, which is what I always do to really brighten that up. I just kind of up the contrast, up the highlights and the brightness a little bit. Go into sharpen, go into clarity. I always up the clarity, and that's kind of that. I mean, I'm kind of done here. I'm gonna go up here to export, click on that. And I'm gonna go over here, and this one is already Poshmark ready. So I'm gonna type in Poshmark ready. That's kind of how I do that. And I don't think I have anything else to show you guys. I hope that helped though. So yeah, I think we're done with the editing. Okay, I wanted to show you really quick how I get the photos onto Poshmark. So I'd already airdropped the photos to my phone, and I'm gonna choose the 3 photos here that I had airdropped. And I usually just save them to favorites so I know exactly where to find them. Then you'll have the option to crop your photos, but we won't need to do that because we already did that. Then you click next. You can choose a cover photo, so whichever one you want to be the cover. You click next again, and you can use any of their filters. You click next, and last thing you'll do before you post it is you will just fill out all the information on the item. How much you want to sell it for, what color the item is, what size the item is, all that good stuff. So you're done. Anyways, I think that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up, say hey girl, hey down in the comments box because you know I love talking to you. Don't forget, you guys can download that Poshmark app for free down in the description box. There's a link there, so don't forget about that. Also, because we do this on all the other Poshmark videos, leave your closet handles down in the comment section so we can all support each other and shop each other's closets. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.